My name is Fritz Krieger. I'd like to tell you about an internet program that I'm beginning. I'm hoping it'll be a weekly program, and let me tell you a little bit about it and myself. I've been thinking about doing this for some time, but I never had the time, and I have a little more time now because I'm a retired pastor. The other reason is that I'm going to be talking about the Bible a lot, and there is so much stuff on the internet about the Bible that is just swamped, and you can find information about anything you want. You can listen to anybody you want, anything they have to say, and it's all covered. And I thought, well, why add another one? Well, I have a perspective I'd like to spend a few minutes on. I haven't always been a Christian. I spent the early part of my life I was secular. I quite frankly didn't believe in much of anything, except I did believe there was a God. I just didn't think we knew anything about him. I remember learning in biology about evolution, and I had pretty well written that off, and the only option was creation. The idea that all this just happened, that nature invented itself, that sometime in the distant past, and they keep moving it back, so theoretically if there's enough time it will happen. Sometime in the distant past there were several 100,000 specialized proteins formed, and all the DNA with all the information for the manufacture of all these proteins all came together and formed a living cell, and the whole idea was just, to me, absurd. I didn't know how it happened, but I knew it wasn't that way. So while I believed there had to be a creator, I just didn't think we knew anything about him. And I really didn't like what I did know, because as I was educated in a church as a youth, there were some things that just, well, they upset and angered me. One of them was that I was taught that most of the human race, or the wicked as they called them, were going to burn in eternity, for all eternity, in screaming agony for untold billions and trillions of years, and it would never end. And we were assured that was the case, and I thought about that and thought, there have been a lot of monsters in history, sociopaths who enjoyed other people's suffering, but there was nobody as bad as they made God out to be. And I thought, this could not be true. It did not make sense. And the other thing is that I figured out that we had a fallen nature. We were inclined to sin. And it angered me that here God made me this way, and then he was going to condemn me and throw me in hell, and I decided something's wrong with this religion. I literally just put it out of my mind. I rejected the whole thing and never gave it a thought for several years, until I finally read some things, and I found out that those things that I had been told simply weren't true, and I'd like to have a chance to tell you about it. I think we live in an anxious world. Years ago when Darwin came along with his evolutionary theory, there had been people centuries before that who came to the conclusion that mankind could pretty well take care of things himself and didn't need God anymore. And the reason Darwinism caught on is because it was what they were looking for. And so they grabbed a hold of that, and now we got rid of God, we could explain our existence, and now we can handle things ourselves. Well, things developed, and now mankind has the power to destroy everything. We can monitor and keep track of everybody on the planet. The potential for oppression and war and destruction is greater than ever before in human history, and the problem is that human nature has not changed. With all of our knowledge, we still can't get along. So I think there's a lot of anxiety today. I think people are wondering, what on earth, what kind of future can we have? And we see things developing in the world today that are really quite worrisome. And so I wanted to put this little series together that I hope will build confidence in something a lot better than that. That there is hope, there is a future, and we can be certain of it. I think we're going to be able to set it up so you can ask questions, you can have input, and we can talk about a lot of different things. So we're leaving it wide open, and I've got a number of subjects that I want to cover. When people are confused about God and no longer know the answers to who we are, why we're here, where we're going, what life is about, we become fearful because life is uncertain. As you go through this series, I hope that you too can find confidence.